everybody, and welcome back to my series. This has actually been a lot of fun for me. I've really enjoyed it. We've talked about a lot of things in this four-part series. We talked about commitment and kind of finding your way. We talked about winning. Talked about a lot of things, and I firmly believe all of those things because it's had such a tremendous impact on my life. Today, I would like to talk about, well, what I kind of call winning the big one. I knew in 1976, as I got closer to the games, that would be my last competition. That I was going to be retiring after this meet is over with. I was giving up too much in my life to do this one thing. There's more to life, and there's more to me. And so, to be honest with you, it was a lot of the motivation too that last year as I got closer to the games, because I knew there wasn't a tomorrow. I knew I had to do it now because I'm 26 years old and I'm moving on in life once this is over with. So as we get closer to the games, I can feel the pressure coming down. There is no bigger pressure cooker in the world than the Olympic Games. You're competing athletically, physically, against the entire world, okay? The pressure is enormous. And I'm feeling this coming down, coming down, coming down. But as we got closer, I felt, what do we do? Anytime you go out and you set your sights on something, you do feel pressure. There's all the emotions that you go through, fear, all these types of things. And it's what you do with those emotions to propel you forward. Make those emotions work for you, not against you. So for me, the first thing was pressure. First of all, I always liked pressure. Why? Because it makes me think. Pressure to me turned my brain on. I want to be the smartest guy on the field, okay? When I put my hands down on the starting line and I take off, my mind is going to be, because of the pressure, totally focused on what I have to do, the task I have in front of me. Pressure makes me think. Anytime we set our sights high on something, we want to accomplish something. One thing that stops so many people is fear. Oh my God, there's a million reasons to be afraid, of course. And you know what? That's just part of the process. Fear is part of the game. What do we do with fear? For me, I would never let, in my head, when I got scared, first of all, I knew I was doing the right thing because I'm afraid, because what I'm about to do is important to me. And there's a million fears that go along with it. I mean, I could trip on the hurdles. I could stumble. There's a million things to be afraid of, okay? And fear is part of the game, but it's how you use it. In my head, fear, I would never let fear get in front of me. Meaning, it's in my head, but in my head, I'm going to take this and I'm not going to let fear get out in front of me. I don't want to be banging up against fear. I don't want fear slowing me down. I don't want fear stopping me thinking, okay? What a great emotion. I want fear, and I want to place it 3 feet behind me. What a great motivating factor to run. When your fear, you're scared, is behind you, pushing you into the heat of the battle, not out front, slowing you down. It's all in the way you look at things. And all these emotions that we have going for us, okay? We have to make them work for us. It's natural to feel pressure, to feel fear, doubt. Doubt is out there. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? We don't know what's going to happen in the competition. Make all of those things work for you. I remember the day of the games. I was laying there in bed for like 2 or 3 days leading up to the games, and let me tell you, they were tough days. But I was able to get through it, got some sleep that night, woke up that morning. It had been raining for days, and forecast was for rain. Well, you're running outdoors, you don't want rain. I looked outside, at least it wasn't raining, but it was overcast, but not raining at the time. So I said, let's just grab my stuff and let's just get down and let's get this thing going. I was so curious when I got onto the practice track outside the stadium to start warming up, what I was going to feel like that morning. I had trained for 4 years since I saw Avilov standing on that platform 4 years ago to be ready at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 29th of July in 1976 to run the 100 meters. Not 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, I have to be ready. So when I got down to the track early, I was so curious because everything was based on that morning. The whole last year of training was based on that morning to be at your absolute best physically. And so I was so curious, how am I going to feel? All these questions would be asked. So I did my little warm up and I was stretching out and I still had my flats on and okay, I'm going to do a fast straight in the center of the track on the grass. And I took off and it was like effortless to run. I felt like a gazelle. My legs were fresh, ready to go, not an acre of pain in my body. I said, oh, that's the way I wanted to feel the morning of the games. And so I thought, boy, I think I'm ready. I don't think I've ever felt better. First event, 100 meters. Put my hands on the blocks. I knew exactly what I want to do, and I'd waited for this race for 4 years. I had thought about it. And here I am, hands on the thing, get it up. I want to be instantaneously out of the blocks. My mind's got to be working. I'd physically done the work to get out of the blocks quickly, but it's my mind got to let me go just as the gun fires. Boom, gun goes off. Got a good start, ran it, leaned at the tape. For the first time, I kind of got a hard time slowing down. Wow. Okay, that feels good. Maybe I was going kind of fast back there. Ran 10:94, fastest race of my life at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 29th of July in 1976, exactly the way I wanted to start the games off. I thought to myself right then, because I was ranked number 1 in the world, I was the world record holder, and I got the best 100 meters of my life in the first event, and I thought I did everything right, all my preparation was right. You know what? This meet's over with. All these other guys can just go home. This one's mine. Now, I didn't tell anybody that. It was kind of my little secret, but yeah, I won the games in the first event. I still had 2 days of competition and 9 events to go, but I won it in the first event because I really knew I was ready. Same thing, long jump. Last attempt, I knew this would be the last long jump of my life. I would never do this again. Boom, last attempt, my best jump. Shot put. I had had a little problem with my finger right here. And so I wasn't able to throw the shot a lot. But this was like the last throw of my life. So I put that little finger exactly where it's supposed to go and got under there, boom, on my last one by a couple of centimeters, not much. Farthest throw of my life. I had jumped, high jumped 6'7", but I'd never gone 6'8". Third attempt at 6'8". I'm standing there and I'm looking at that thing and the fire is burning in my belly. If I don't make this right now, I'll never make it again the rest of my life. And my mind was working, the adrenaline going on that third attempt, flying down there, boom, took off, never even touched it over the other side. 4 in a row, great events. And the last was the 400 meters. I had thought about this race for 4 years. I knew exactly how I wanted to run it. I wanted to run the greatest second turn once around the track. And I wanted to run the greatest turn I've ever run And so as soon as I hit the turn at 200 meters, I'm going to just treat it like an open sprint. And I came off the turn, didn't see anybody around me, and I kept waiting for somebody to come up on me, but didn't, and ran the best race of my life, ran 47.5. Put 5 in a row in the first day. I was only 35 points out of the lead, all my good events coming the second day. Now, the most difficult time comes is they want you to go back to your, back to the village, and they want you to get a good night's sleep, okay? Honestly, that's tough to do, okay? Why? Because as I'm laying there all night long, what do I hear going on outside? Raining, pouring down rain outside. The next day, you got the hurdles, you got the pole vault. You don't want to do those events in the rain. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I just had the greatest first day of my life, and it's going to be just pouring on me. Woke up after a few hours of sleep, not much. Woke up, looked out the window. It isn't raining now, but the clouds were so low and dark, they were touching the top of the stadium. Forecast rain all day. And I'm thinking, well, the rain's on me, it's raining on everybody. Let's just get this thing going. First event, the 110 meter high hurdles. A few flights in front of me, Fred Dixon, the other American on the team, slipped and fell because the track is wet from the rain overnight. Down he went over. And I'm thinking, again, scared to death, but fear's back here. Fear's gonna push me through this thing. Ran the 110 meter high hurdles. Had a decent time, but I just felt so relieved that, okay, I've got this thing going again. 3 throws in the discus went out very well, right near my best ever throw. Pole vault, same thing. Second, third attempts, I was able to make it. Wind up jumping very well. Javelin, got there, and by this time, I had the lead, and with my 2 last events, javelin 1,500 meters, I just wanted to get, now it was kind of a personal thing. How many points can I score? Nobody in the world had ever scored 8,600 points before. I had the world record at 8,524. So I put the javelin out there pretty good, can't complain, 225. And then it came to the 1,500 meters, the last event in the decathlon. I had trained, I used to run 70 miles a week in the off season. The 1,500 meters is my best running event. I'm not the great sprinter. 100's okay, 400's very good, 1,500 meters, really, really good, okay? And so, even though I had the competition won, it was all for me about the time I was going to get, because I wanted to get over 8,600 points. And gun went off and I ran the first half mile right on pace. Not that hard a pace, but right on pace. Third lap started picking it up, and the faster I ran, the better I felt. And then there's a clock on the inside of the track, and I look at the clock on my third lap, and it's 1 second slower than my fastest pace ever at that point in the race with 300 meters to go. And I thought, this is it, baby. I'm treating this last 300 like it's an open sprint. Took off down the backstretch, running as hard as I possibly can. I got into the turn, and as I knew, because I had thought for years and years about that final turn in the 1,500 meters, I could visualize it in my head. And as I actually got there, I'm looking around at the stadium and everything, and I'm saying to myself, I'm here. I'm right where I wanted to be, just running as hard as I could. And I'm thinking, just don't forget this moment. Look around, be very aware. I wanted to remember what it looked like coming off the final turn with the last 100 meters, and all you gotta do is get to that finish line and it's yours. Run it as hard as I possibly could. And I got to the finish line very consciously aware of everything that's going on around me. My hands went up in the air, I started screaming. I started screaming as I was slowing down and everything. But right there, at that moment, the feeling that I had, I wasn't shocked that I won, but the feeling that I had in my head was just overwhelming feeling of satisfaction that I trained so hard, I worked so hard, and I pulled this thing off. And you know what? Nobody can ever take it away. That was a good feeling. It's mine forever. My best buddy, I can take home with me. Now the tough part came a few minutes later. About a half hour later, they have the ceremony. We got in line underneath the stadium. Myself, Guido Kretschmer from West Germany, and Nikolai Avila, the guy I saw on the platform 4 years earlier. He got the bronze. He's in the room. We march out and we stand behind the platform and on the grass, and I'm looking at the platform in front of me. And I look at that platform and I look at those stairs. They had two steps to get to the top. And I'm looking at those 2 steps and I'm thinking, you know what? Those are the last 2 steps of my career. Once I get up on top, it's over. It's done with. I have no idea what the rest of my life is going to be like. But those steps are so important because when I get up on top, it's over with. Finally, they made the announcement, got the 2 steps, took them kind of slow, put my hands on my knees, I remember, and just got up the steps. Once I got up on top, I felt good. I felt satisfied. Scored 8,634 points, got my 8,600, the last thing I wanted to do. They put the medal around your neck, they play the national anthem. National anthem never sounded so good. I'm looking, sneaking peeks of family. There was like 60 family members and friends that were there in the stadium with me, sneaking peeks of everybody else enjoying the moment. You know, my dad is a World War II veteran, landed on Omaha Beach, a proud American. And to hear that national anthem being played was very emotional for everybody. And then the official walks over and says, you're gonna have to get down now. I said, nope, no, I'm not getting down. You know, kind of gave me a dirty look, and I thought, well, you better get down quickly. So anyway, I jumped down the other side, walked into the stadium, looked over my left shoulder, looked back at the track, and I said, hey, thanks for the memories. I had a wonderful time, but I leave it to the next guy. I'm moving on in life. Now, the reason I tell that story is because that is about winning. For me, that was ultimate winning, okay, athletically. But in my life, I had no idea what my life was going to be. I've had a lot of winning moments in life. From raising a family, to wonderful kids, to a great lifestyle. All of these types of things, I have really had a very blessed life. But also I have worked extremely hard. I mean, I tried to encourage all my kids to work extremely hard, and I just couldn't be prouder of them. And to be honest with you, that is my biggest victory in life, is my family. So what I want to do in telling that story is break it down what I consider my 4 words, keys to success. Okay? 4 words, keys to success. Gamble, cheat, lie, and steal. Got it? Gamble, cheat, lie, and steal. Now, why do I say that? Let me explain. Gamble. Gamble your best shot in life. Dare to take risks. Life has got to be a great adventure, or it's nothing. Cheat. Cheat those who would have you be less than you are. Surround yourself with positive people, uplifting people, people who want to see you do well. Turn around and help them. You're truly a champion. Lie. Lie in the arms of those that you love. Okay? Never take the love that you give or the love that you receive for granted. And lastly, steal. Steal every moment of happiness. Live every day as if it was your last, because we never know when that day is going to come. Gamble, cheat, lie, and steal. If there's one thing I've learned through this life, is that you have to believe in the power of you. We all are gifts of God. We all have great talents. We have great things that we're going to do in our lives. Okay? And sometimes I feel like I believe in other people more than they believe in themselves. Find your one thing. Find what you can't wait to get the day started. Okay? Find out what you're passionate about. Be committed to that passion. Dare to take risks. Life's got to be an adventure. But always believe in the power of you.